Good day, viewers. Welcome to Ewere Okonta television. My name is Ewere Okonta. Today, I have a special guest that will be talking about food insecurity in Nigeria. As you are aware, this is a serious fundamental issue that is affecting everybody. Both the poor and the rich are affected by food insecurity. As a matter of fact, there is this picture that is trending on the social media about 3 fruits of tomatoes. They are selling for over 6,000 naira in a supermarket somewhere in Nigeria. I said, wow, we're in trouble. So I need to go to the street, look for experts, look for a farmer that will educate my viewers about the causes of this food insecurity in Nigeria. And we will also talk extensively on the possible solutions and what government can do. When I mean government, I'm talking about Delta State government through the Office of the Special Advisor on entrepreneurship development in Delta State, Dr. Donald Peterson. So these and some other issues is what we are going to talk about today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby present you my guest, Mr. Charles Dibie.
Good day, viewers. Thanks for having me, Mr. Ewere Okonta. I'm Farmer Charles Dibie from Greenfield Agro Farms.
So, Farmer Charles,
Yes, sir.
what led you, a young man, to go into farming?
Yeah, it's a passion I have for agriculture. You know, food is an essential product that everybody needs to eat. Without food, no life. No farmer, no nation.
Wow.
So we need food as a nation, as a family to consume. So agriculture is something that I love doing. With all the passions I have for agriculture, I can go anywhere to farm.
Now, do you have a professional certificate as an education related to agriculture, or it was just what you learned from your parents?
No. There's a professional certificate backing it up.
Wow.
From the NC level to the BSc level. And we still have some certificates in agriculture that we have been backing up the practice.
Wow. So now let's talk about the major problem that's necessitated this problem to the food insecurity in Nigeria. Which way forward? What is causing it? What is making the prices of food to skyrocket in this country?
Yeah, one, we have the policy of the government, the lack of infrastructure. Then the major challenge is insecurity. Insecurity has made many rural farmers to leave the village to urban areas, in the sense that farmers in the rural community are unable to access their farms again because of insecurity. And these have led to high cost of agricultural products in the market. Today, Gari is sold for 50,000 a basin.
Over.
And Gari used to be the food of the common man, but now is a gold mine. So because of insecurity, most of the farmers have left the village to urban areas. They cannot access their farms again because of kidnapping and other stuff of insecurity.
Now, aside insecurity, what are other factors that are contributing to this issue of food insecurity?
Yeah. One of the major factors is lack of infrastructure.
Okay.
Lack of basic amenities that you use in terms of production. The input is not there. For instance, tractors, fertilizers, chemicals are not there for rural farmers to access, in which these inputs can be subsidized by the government at a lower rate. The farmers can access them, and the ADP, the Agricultural Development Program, and the farmers go there, they buy it at a cheaper rate, they use it in terms of productions, and the output will be nice. But because of laziness of the government, these inputs are not provided, and these have led to high cost of foodstuffs in Nigeria.
Now, assuming the government tackled the issue of insecurity, are you also assuring us that the youth will embrace farming? Because I was expecting you to point this out, that our youths are not willing to embrace farming. All of them want, some of them want to chapa, some of them want to do, some other things that we give them soft life.
Yes.
Nobody want to do agriculture again. I'm even surprised that you, a young man, that you are into agriculture. So are the youths willing and ready to embrace farming?
Yeah. They are willing and ready to embrace farming. Farming have changed dimension. Like under the office of the SC, Entrepreneurship Development in Delta State, Dr. Peterson, Donald, has come a long way in terms of creating aeroponic and hydroponic farming that will be a white collar job. Because you'll be in the farming, you'll be using water, you'll be farming on a substrate. When I mean substrate, soilless farming, not your normal soil. You wear your white to the farm, your lab coat to the farm, and it will look like you are in the lab working. You will be neater than bankers. Just the difference is the AC. The AC that they receive in the bank. But thanks to Dr. Peterson for looking into that aspect of hydroponic and aeroponic farming. With this, use in Delta State, use in Nigeria at large, use in Africa will embrace it and go into farming. And this will elevate poverty because it will create a kind of job opportunity, elevate the common poverty in our rural communities, and we equally advocate for home garden because you said the price of tomato, three fruits of tomato in a supermarket in somewhere in Nigeria is costing about 6,000 something. Yeah, but if I have 20 stands of tomato in my backyard, you have 20 stands of tomato in your backyard under normal agronomic management and practices in a sack. When I mean sack farming, we use the grow bag to grow them. Definitely the price of tomato will not be like that. But due to lack of awareness by families, they don't know how to practice all these. They depend on the market, and the rural farmers that are growing this because of pests and diseases, some government policies that are not suitable for agriculture, or high cost of fuel, they are unable to produce. So if you have a garden at your backyard, you can definitely produce something that will earn you and your family a living at the end of the day.
Now, Farmer Charles, let's talk more, break it down to the understanding of my average viewers about this your soilless farming that the Office of the Special Advisor on Entrepreneurship Development in Delta State. Break this policy down so that everybody can understand it. This issue of hydroponic and aeroponic.
Okay. Yeah, the hydroponic farming has to do with farming with water. And the hydroponic is classified into two, the vertical and the horizontal. Crops will be grown on water under a substrate. The root grows under the substrate, under the soilless substance, and the root, you see the roots are well developed. Under the hydroponic, they grow on water, just water. It's an innovation. The nutrient into the water, and you see the plant will grow with high yields. When you see them, you'll be thinking maybe they came from heaven like that, but no. It was grown under water. With these innovations, the use in Delta State, the use in Nigeria at large will embrace agriculture. It's an innovation that the office have tried to think about. What can we do to elevate poverty? What can we do to make people embrace agriculture? And hydroponic farming is done under a controlled environment. When I mean controlled environment, I mean a greenhouse. Yeah, it's covered with a UV ray, solar ray. Then the crops are grown there, and the crops are healthy for people to consume. When I mean healthy for people to consume, you can take a fresh cucumber from the farm, from the hydroponic system, you consume it immediately. Yeah, they are chemical free because they are placed under a controlled environment in which pests that will lead to pests that are vectors to diseases cannot come in there to cause diseases because the pests are not accessible because of the shade net. They are not accessible into the greenhouse.
Now, away from that, Farmer Charles, let's talk about the low yield of some of these agricultural varieties and what ways or where are the rural farmers expected to get these high yield varieties of agricultural product, and is it accessible? Is it cheap?
Yeah, that has to do with the government policy, like I said initially. And our research centers are poorly funded. They are unable to develop some of these varieties that can withstand drought, that are high yield, that can withstand pests and diseases. That's where they came about GMO organisms, GMO crops, GMO animals. GMOs are genetic modified organisms. So farmers can access all these seeds through the ADP. The ADP is the Agricultural Development Programs. They link the farmers and the research centers. The extension workers are to advise the farmers, this is the kind of variety of crop to grow. If you grow this, you get 5 tons of maize. If you grow this, you get 5 tons of tomato. But because of the laziness of the government and some of the policies of the government, these research centers are poorly funded, so they are unable to get some of the funds and access some of the funds to carry out their research in terms of improving the variety of some certain crops.
Okay. Now, you mentioned about GMO. I want you, though some say it's a very, very controversial.
Yeah, it's a controversial issue
because some countries are placing a ban on it.
Yeah.
It's not really acceptable. So, just in a simple sentence, break it down for my viewers, for the rural farmers. What is this GMO products?
Yeah, GMO are organic modified organisms. They came from the evolution of genetic engineering. Genes from this organism and this organism have been crossed together in the lab in order to modify the organism and create a better organism from the two organisms that are crossed together, that are modified together. Genes are units of inheritance. So they have the characteristics of plant A and the characteristics of plant B. So when these genetic engineers come in the lab, they carry out some genetic processes in order to modify these organisms and create a better crop, a better animal that is disease resistant, pesticide resistant, herbicide resistant, and high yield, which will be profitable to farmers.
Were they free from chemicals? Were they not harmful to the human body?
No, really. According to you, they are not harmful to human body. According to my own understanding, they are not harmful. No, according to my own understanding, they are not harmful to the organism because it came a long way from genetic breeding, from genetic evolution. You know, in breeding, sorry, let me not go into breeding. Okay. So they came a long way from genetic modification.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, let's go into specific. What do you think? Because in all your answers, you are telling me that government policies this, government policies that. How do you think that the government can assist farmers like you?
Okay.
What are the ways? What are the things that you expect the government to do for farmers like you and other rural farmers that will make eligible young men like me and like you and I to embrace agriculture?
You asked a very nice question. Yeah, the government should provide an enabling environment for agricultural practices in our country. For instance, the issue of insecurity should be put on hold. And they should advocate for more extension workers that will be ready to visit the farmers at their farms, carry their problems to the research centers, thereby bring the possible solutions from the research centers back to the farmers in order to improve their way of life. That's just extension as a definition. So these extension officers should move around, government should create an enabling environment for them, carry these problems of the farmers to the research centers, and provide the possible solutions to us in order to improve our livelihood, because agriculture is a livelihood. Without food, we can't survive. You and I know that without food, we cannot survive. And government should make agricultural input at a subsidized rate in which we can able to access them at a lower price, and our output will go at a higher price than the masses can equally buy in the market.
Okay. Now, sorry, let me also take you back to the effort that the special advisor to the Delta State government on entrepreneurship development is making in the person of Dr. Donald Peterson. I understand that he is visiting the various tertiary institutions in Delta State advocating for this new method of farming. So, what do you think will be his ideal message to the youth, especially the student community, the university communities, on how to embrace this new method of farming?
Yeah.
What do you think would be his specific ideal message that he will be telling them?
Yeah, since food is not an issue on ground for us to solve, definitely everybody will embrace agriculture. And because of the innovative way of carrying out this hydroponic and aeroponic farming, the soilless farming, youths around will say, this is the kind of farm that we need to embrace. It's not like the one we carry hoe, we carry cutlass, we till the ground for days, we are burning bush. No. With that, they will embrace these ideal innovations from the essay to the governor on entrepreneurship development.
Okay. Now, what are other ways you think the government will use to encourage farmers to embrace and mechanize farming?
Yeah. In this part of the country, we have an issue of land tenure system. Our land tenure is not well documented, so we don't have a place of farming here. So carrying out mechanized agriculture is a kind of issue that we have in this part of the country. Reason being that our farms are made with stumps. So carrying out mechanized agriculture is a kind of difficult thing because tractors cannot work in so many farms. To me, the government can create mini tractors, can provide mini tractors for a family. Many families and farmers, they are unaccessible to tractors because the tractors are nowhere to be found. So with this kind of innovations, we have the mini tractors that can be handled with hand. If the government should provide or empower a cluster of farmers with some mini tractors, mini planters, sprayers that they can use to practice mechanized agriculture.
Farmer Charles, it's always nice talking to you. So may I have your final thought on how, your personal opinion on how we can improve agricultural sufficiency?
Yeah. To improve food insufficiency in our country, it's been a long process, but definitely we are going to make a good result out of it. The government should enact some policies and relieve the farmers of some taxes. For instance, the petrol subsidy, that they should be able to bring it down. I know it's impossible for the federal government again, but they should do something about it, in which fuel and other petroleum products will be,
their prices
the prices will be low, and some of the policies are thereby creating some mini tractors, extension workers, funding of the research centers, and awareness to rural farmers. And equally, the major issue is insecurity. The insecurity should be well solved in such a way that farmers can access their farms. Thank you very much, sir.
It's nice talking to you.
Sir.
Thank you very much. God bless you. So we'll still talk more on this next time.